all 3 of the Uncharted games for PS3 are being remastered.
Everything great about Halo Sandbox, all into one multiplayer.
Almost kind of no thought would
I
sell
think when I bought
console.
that,
I
back
thought
rate
the
was the
biggest-
weight.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Hello, my name is Jalon Morgan, and today I'm here to discuss a film that I recently saw called Sorry to Bother You. Now, I saw this with my Movie Pass because, well, I might as well use this thing while the company is still afloat, right? Sorry to Bother You is the directorial debut from writer, producer, and rapper Boots Riley. Now, like Terry Gilliam's 1985 film Brazil, Sorry to Bother You tells the story of a disgruntled employee who tries to navigate his way through a duplicitous mega corporation. Specifically, it tells the story of telemarketer Cassius Green and his ascent up the corporate ladder and descent into materialism and greed. Now, I started out this review comparing the film to Brazil because I think that they share the same cinematic DNA, if you will. Now, this is both to the film's credit, but also to its fault at times. While I will be returning back to this Brazil comparison, don't be fooled. This film is like nothing else that you've ever seen. At its core, Sorry to Bother You serves as an examination of greed and how the many facets of modern life drive us towards this dire end. From the film's opening scene, Cassius, in an existential crisis, discusses the idea of meaning. After all, he attests that if he is going to die, his girlfriend is going to die, and the sun will one day explode, then what meaning can we even derive from our own lives?
Man, I'm just out here surviving. And what I'm doing right now won't even matter.
Oh, baby, it will always matter.
This quest for meaning leads Cassius into a spiraling descent into greed and materialism. Once he begins climbing the corporate ladder, he finally feels like his life, well, it has meaning. He finally finds something that he's good at. He begins receiving validation from his boss. And he can finally afford the material things that he desires, and he has just overall financial stability. His greed and lust for more gives him the illusion that his life matters, but along the way he casts away all of the people that truly and actually cared about him. The film also argues that another driving force towards greed is capitalism. In fact, when the film is viewed as a whole, it can be seen as a satirical indictment of capitalism in modern America. The major vehicle that the film uses to convey this idea is a company known as Worry Free, who allows their workers to sign lifetime contracts, ensuring that they will have a job and a place to live for life. In a world where money is the key to living both safely and happily, this idea is enticing to many. And in the beginning, the idea even seems enticing to Cassius, who works a dead-end job and is 4 months behind in his rent. After all, he also thinks that the stability may be good for him. This desperation can even be seen in our own modern world, where students leave universities with record highs in student debt. Many of them crippled by the debt and, just not really sure where to turn.
5 million Americans now in default on their student loans. The Wall Street Journal reporting
up to $1.4 trillion with a T.
The cost of college has to come down.
Riley's satirical and heightened reality established in the film seems to play as a fair warning for American audiences. As for the driving force behind the corporation assigning lifetime contracts, you guessed it, greed. Preying upon the desperation of millions, the company saw an easy way to control their workforce. Another through line of Sorry to Bother You is the commentary on race. Riley's film attests that the only way that African Americans can succeed and truly be welcomed into the white elite is to literally and figuratively act more white. This is evident at a key point in the film when a senior telemarketer instructs Cassius to quote-unquote use his white voice in sales calls.
Let me give you a tip. You want to make some money here? Use your white voice.
My white voice.
I'm not talking about Will Smith's wife, like this young blood.
Hey, Mr. Kramer, this is Langston from Regal View.
As always, we'll be getting that out to you right away.
You're doing so good with the voice thing.
Some ancillary themes are also touched upon in the film, such as America's seeming fascination with humiliating others. This is timely as recently we have seen the American public serve as judge, jury, and executioner, absent of empathy, forgiveness, or even a second look. Having broken down some of the major themes of the film, I'd like to share some of my overall thoughts. I love this movie. I think that Riley absolutely knocks it out of the park on his first go-round, providing us with an effective satire of our modern world. Like Terry Gilliam with Brazil, Boots Riley used a blunt instrument to break open the facade of modern life. It's impressive to see a first-time director handle such a bizarre story chock full of so many ideas with such confidence and prowess. Riley will be a force to be reckoned with for years to come. The film is also genuinely shocking. I can honestly say that I had no idea where the film was going, and it delivered some of my favorite moments from the year so far. Well, I loved Sorry to Bother You, and definitely think it's worth checking out. I did have a few issues with it. While the film's greatest strength is its ambition, at times that could also be its greatest weakness, I thought. Like Terry Gilliam, Riley throws everything at the screen, but unfortunately not all of those things seem to click or work. Particularly there were a few themes and subplots that were a bit underdeveloped and would have likely been cut from a more streamlined film. Additionally, the pacing was a bit uneven, with the ending particularly feeling a bit rushed. The film felt overall about 20 minutes too long, I would say. And that's likely due to some of those underdeveloped plots and themes that, could have been cut. Okay guys, those were my thoughts on Boots Riley's directorial debut, Sorry to Bother You. Tune in next time for another episode of Cinema Perspective.